Let's move on to the other promotion, though, because stuff did happen in AEW. And I am the AEW fan, so I'm not going to start this off. I want to kick it over to old Robert here. Mercedes Moné. I will say this. I was going to try to be better. I was going to try to be nicer. But this AEW Dynamite that we had in Canada for the first hour and a half was the same script that we had in Boston. Mercedes Moné came out at the top, gave a promo. We had a couple of matches in between, title matches where titles changed hands. Will Ospreay came out at the start of the second hour with Tony Schiavone to deliver another promo about Bryan Danielson. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Mercedes Moné, let's start there. What did you think about this entrance of Mercedes Moné's character?
Look, I have a few issues with Mercedes Moné already, which is not good. But like I love Sasha Banks. I love her as a performer. She's great. A terrific signing, going to bolster AEW's women division. Get all the compliments out of the way before I talk about her promo tonight and what I don't like about it. I thought it was a lot of the same of last week. And I guess my main issue is that I can already tell she's a natural heel. And this is like her desperately trying to like connect, and I'm here for you guys. We're doing this, we're doing that. This is my dream. I want to be in AEW. Just like a lot of political, we're running for office, it sounds like to me. And then we got Willow Nightingale, who's a natural baby face, and she's kind of cast as a heel. And I don't, it's like just I'm watching these segments. I'm like, these characters are all great, but they're cast in the wrong roles. It's annoying the hell out of me. But you can't debut Mercedes Moné as a heel, I guess. They did it with Okada. So you can't do that with Moné as well. But I just think we're going to have Moné as a heel in like 3 months because I don't think this is going to work. If her feud is against Julia Hart and Sky Blue, that's just not big time. That's not big business to me. That's just a meh feud for a meh title that nobody talks about since Jade Cargill lost it. So that's my problem, is just there's a lot of work to be done with Mercedes Moné in that women's division, and that's not Moné's fault. But her presentation, her entrance is great. The CEO chant is great, but there's just a lot of like fluff in her promos, a lot of just nothing. And then we get an attack. So that's my main issue with Mercedes Moné's presentation. She's a natural heel. They're pigeonholing her as a baby face and not giving her a really great story to work with as well. What are your thoughts on Mercedes Moné so far?
I thought that this week was a lot better than last week, but it was the same week. And I believe if you started Mercedes Moné off in Boston with exactly what happened this week, that should have been the start. I was very angry last week about how they presented Mercedes Moné because nothing happened. This week, stuff actually happened. And I understand you saying about how the roles should be reversed in what they're doing, but I do like how they're playing into Willow was the one that injured her, even though it was a fluke injury, and we're going to play back that, and Mercedes Moné wants to get her revenge. I like that. It's not a babyface move to get your revenge, but I do like that. I also feel like Chris Statlander, the person that I said Mercedes Moné should have the first feud with in AEW, is just on the side, not even in the camera shot when we're watching these two go at it. That hurts me, but I like that they're having Willow versus Mercedes Moné. Adding in Julia Hart and Sky Blue, though, that seems just like extra characters at this point. And again, just like in WWE, the champion, Julia Hart, is the least important person in the ring at that point, which, again, I feel you. There's a lot of work to be done that needs to be done. I like that Stokely Hathaway's getting a piece of it. But I am intrigued at a Willow versus Mercedes Moné match. I would like the roles reversed, but again, even when Willow Nightingale had the chair over her head, I never once believed she was going to use it. Did you?
Right. No, but I guess this is just a bigger picture thing that we can just talk about for a minute because it just popped in my head. There's a lot of this stuff, like they're building on stuff that happened in other promotions. It happened with the Ospreay stuff too. It's like in New Japan, it's like a lot of these people that you're trying to market to here don't watch New Japan and don't know about what you're talking about. So that's like the Willow Nightingale playing off the injury, like maybe half the people watching know about that. So you got to like do a good, you got to do a really good job of explaining the backstory. Maybe seeing if you get footage of do you have to like go above and beyond to make sure everybody knows there's a backstory? And they did that, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like Mercedes Moné is a big star, but I don't know how much of a huge star she will be to the casual fans here. We can talk about the ratings Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we were going to talk about that a little bit later, but we do want to talk about
Sure.
sort of the bigger picture problem with AEW, because a few weeks ago, my headline for AEW was Mercedes Moné, Okada, and Ospreay. We are entering the new era of AEW, and obviously, after the first 2 weeks, we'll wait to see the ratings, which I hate talking about from this week's Dynamite. But clearly, it's not taking off like a rocket ship quite yet, and that we thought it would. And what can they do to take that forward? And I agree with you. A lot of people know who Sasha Banks is. No one knows who Okada or Ospreay are unless you're a wrestling fan. And again, you need more than wrestling fans to watch and be engaged with your product in order to grow. And how do you do that? I thought Ospreay's promo was an excellent way of getting into that, because you watch that guy and you immediately want to watch more of him.
Yeah.
You see Okada in the ring, you immediately want to watch more of that. Although I will say him and Eddie Kingston did not make a good marriage in the ring. But him with the Elite on the side, I think that's a very fun way to get more of it. But I'm not sure it's going to happen overnight. I believe it's going to need to be a very slow process to get to the level that they need to get to. And I'm okay with waiting to see that happen. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but there's a lot that needs to be done to get us there. And it's a lot of the stuff that's not being done. Like you said, explaining what the injury was, where it came from. They had that little video package from Mercedes Moné, but we didn't even see the injury. Maybe she didn't want to show that, and I understand that. But again, making us care about her injury and making us care about like her road to recovery, how long it took her to get there. She said it in the promo, show me the videos of that, of her struggling to figure it all out. Like, even ham it up and refilm it if you don't have actual footage of it. It's a fucking fake wrestling show, like let us live in it for a little bit and build up for it, because AEW for far too long has relied on the great in-ring wrestling to carry the entire promotion. And I'm getting to a point now where I need more of that. Go.
Not to cut you off, but I got to that point like a year and a half ago.